Hello, everyone. Before we get started with our webinar today, could you please let us know if you can hear us? You can use the chat box just to type in yes or say hello, just so that way we can make sure that you can hear us before we get started. Okay, it looks like everybody can hear us okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Angela Pontius. I am an Assistant Director in the Center for Career Exploration and Success. And I'm happy to be here with you to talk about the career community today. So thanks for joining us this afternoon. So we'll go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and use that same chat box to send any questions to us, and we can answer those throughout the presentation, but then we'll also have time for question and answers at the end as well. Okay, so let's talk first about what the Miami Career Community is. And so you should see a graphic that has, of course, our students in the middle and what it is that they're going to learn and experience while they are here at Miami. And so we want them to make connections that will lead to great experiences and opportunities in a variety of different industries, career opportunities, and then also to reflect on all of those experiences to impact where they will land in their career. And the way that we do that is through that career community that includes not only faculty and staff here at Miami, but also includes area governments, of course, our alumni network, employers that our employer relations team works with to build those relationships, and of course, our parents. So our office, the Career Center office, always talks to our partners about the ways in which they can support our students in their career exploration and also helps connect them to jobs and internships. Our alumni, parents, and employers are all willing and eager to open doors for students actually around the world, not just here in our small community. So a great example of this is our Miami Parent Council, willingness to host students at their firms, provide webinars about successful sales strategies, etc. Alumni often come back for our career exploration series and also for firms coming back to actually recruit at our fairs. And so we have a lot of alumni who will come back for that. So new alumni outcomes. You can see here that of our 2016-17 graduates, that 97.3% of them were employed or furthering their education by fall of 2017. This is actually an increase of 0.5% from the previous year. And according to NACE, which is our National Association of Colleges and Employers, nationally that percentage is 83.7. So you can see that Miami is well above that national average of students being placed within their time after graduation. And here's another statistic for you, one that's very interesting for me to hear about, that our students, they are successful, and we know that, but they are also landing jobs right out of school, and they're also getting more than one job offer. So over 56% of those students received more than one job offer, and again, that percentage is also up from the previous year. And here's just a little bit of information too regarding the students who have accepted a job offer and what their salaries are averaging. And so you can see there that our students are averaging salaries between $30,000 and just below $70,000 as the starting salary, and that's at 83.7%. So our students are getting well-paying jobs and being in a job that is a meaningful placement for them. So here are some recruitment facts. You may have heard that we have on-campus interviews here at Miami, and a great talking point about that is that we do more on-campus interviews compared to our peer institutions. So it's actually, on-campus interviews are actually declining across the country, but we are still providing that service for our students, in doing so in a way that is above and beyond what our peer institutions are doing. Through our events, we had almost 500 organizations recruiting at those events, some of which will then stay for those on-campus interviewing opportunities. And last year, we started to use Handshake, which is our online job board, which allows employers to easily post to multiple colleges and universities. So you can see that we had a very large increase of job and internship postings to over 26,000. So many, many opportunities are available for your students through our Handshake job board. One thing to point out as well is when we have those organizations come to campus, we had over 180 of them come to campus and say that they wanted to be first-year friendly, meaning that they were open and willing to talk to our first-year students. We also have employers who are looking to hire all majors. So it's not just specifically for certain industries, but it is open to all students, regardless of major and what year they are. Here is some information for you about employment outcomes, but done by division. So this is our first destination data, and you'll see that it is actually very comparable success rates across all the divisions. So these students could be working specifically in the field that was their major, or perhaps they're doing something that was major related. So you can see here that every division is at 96% or higher. So some trends in career development. We like to tell our students to come to our office sooner rather than later, explore where we are, and we like to meet the students where they are. Some students might be coming in without a resume, others might already have that in place. And so we just like to get to know the students, let them know that we're here to help them wherever they might be in their career journey. So we explain to the students that they can leverage college to explore careers. This is a great time to take advantage of some programs that we offer, and I'll talk about those in just a minute. But not always does major equal career. So this gives them an opportunity to see what else might be out there. Maybe it's something that they didn't know about when they first came to Miami. Also, being able to articulate what a liberal arts education means and how that is a positive attribute for them as they start applying for positions. So being able to talk about that either through resume, cover letter, or even in the interview process. So here are a couple of examples as to ways that students can leverage that experience and think about how liberal arts plays a role. We have a number of career track programs that we offer each year. In the past, we have taken students to explore careers in culture in cities such as Chicago, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, and Cincinnati. And we oftentimes will set up site visits with employers that we have a relationship with. We often will meet with alumni who are either with that specific company, or we invite them to do a panel while we're in those cities. It gives the students a chance to not only see real life work in the office, but also to connect with alumni that are in those cities. We also do job shadow days. We actually just had one of those days right before the fall semester started, and it was in Cincinnati. We've also done job shadow days in Columbus and Dayton. And our career exploration panels are great for students who are just wanting to know some more information about certain careers and industries. This semester, we have 2 panels scheduled so far. We have our government law and nonprofit panel scheduled for September 12th. And also the arts, communication, media, and design panel will be on October 17th. Those are great ways for students to go and learn about careers in those areas and also meet with alumni and current professionals in those areas. So a few more features about what we can offer and how we can work with your students. In that we offer advising sessions with our career liaisons. So you'll see that we offer more than compared to our peer institutions. Last year, we conducted over 2,100 advising sessions, whereas our peer institutions, similar in size, offer only about 700. So we are seeing more students and appreciate their initiative to come and see us. But we're also in classrooms and working with faculty and staff as well to encourage students to come to the Career Center sooner rather than later. Our mock interview program is one that is highly sought after and sometimes is required in higher level classes, junior and senior level classes. Last year we had over 900 mock interviews that were performed in our office. We have specific events such as a case mock interview program, a technical mock interview program. We do one for teachers. We have a number of these events throughout the academic year. We also just have our general mock interview program where your students can sign up to have a mock interview with our student mock interview team, and those are going on Monday through Friday in our office. Our liaisons that we have here in our office are all partnered with all 5 divisions on campus, and then we also have liaisons for the Office of Diversity Affairs and also the International Students and Scholar Office. And lastly, we have our Diversity Initiatives team, and they are working on great events to publicize diversity and what that means in the workforce. And I'll talk to you about a few of those events coming up in just a minute. But first, what I want to touch on is our career clusters. Career Clusters is a new initiative by our office starting this year, and we will be creating our events and services and communications around these career clusters. So these are groups of common occupations that fall within our broad career sectors, and these allow students to narrow down professional interests while they explore similar careers within broad career categories. So because major doesn't always equal what the occupation will be, this would be a great way for students to explore in many different ways. For example, I work with our creative arts students and with music educators. Some of them might be interested in writing policy for education or being an advocate. So not only would they be in the arts, communications, media, and design cluster, they would also be in education and government, law, and nonprofit. So this gives students the opportunity to receive information and participate in events that cover all of those topics. Jobs and internships are, of course, a large part of what we help students with when they get to that part in their time here at Miami. Generally speaking, internships are after the junior year. However, we are noticing a trend that employers are open and willing to hire students for internships even after the first or second year. There is the exception for in-demand fields. Internships are not required for everyone, so I encourage you to ask your student about that requirement. a lot of programs will highly encourage students to get that in-field experience, but not every major requires it. It does give the student great experience to include on their resume and be able to network and build their network while they are in that position. So another opportunity besides internship would be study abroad opportunities, and all of those can be included on a resume as you learn lots of different skills within those, including soft skills, which a lot of employers are looking for in our students. And also students need to keep in mind the different cycles for jobs and internships, depending on their industry and what type of career they're going for. They have different hiring cycles. So thinking about educators, the spring is going to be their cycle. However, business majors might be looking to secure an internship this fall for the next summer. So it is all industry related, and students should come to the Career Center so that we help them figure that out, or they can also talk with academic advisors or professors within their degree program. So getting prepared. So finding a job is a job, absolutely. And we have different workshops and ways in which students can get prepared when they're ready to start their job search. The Basic Interviewing Skills Workshop is a basic level workshop that talks to the points of what a successful interview would look like. So from researching employers to executing the interview and how to follow up afterwards. This is a prerequisite for students to be able to participate in mock interviews and also our on-campus interviewing. LinkedIn and resume reviews. Career advisors can help with those, but we also have our career assistants in our office. And those career assistants are trained students who perform workshops almost 2 days a week on LinkedIn profile creation and editing, as well as resume and cover letter reviews. It's a great place for students to just drop in, have a peer look it over, and then if they have any further questions, they are referred to their career advisor. Of course, we've talked about the mock interview program and how successful that program is, and the great knowledge the students will have and confidence that they'll have going into a real interview after having that experience. And then, of course, we encourage students to attend career fairs and networking events that are scheduled throughout the year. All of those events are on our website, and so you can look at those and encourage your students to also take a look at those. Here are just a few of the events that we have going on. Again, this is just a small snippet of the different types of events that we offer. A couple to point out, our Suit Up event at JCPenney is coming up this Sunday, September 9th. A great opportunity for students to come to JCPenney and shop for their career attire. Perhaps they're coming to the career fair or will be interviewing soon for upcoming internships, or perhaps they're graduating in May and want to go ahead and purchase that attire as they start their interview process. Students will be able to receive a 40% off coupon when they arrive at JCPenney, and that is on top of sale prices. And so students can shop from 5:30 to 9:30 this Sunday. We have our All Majors mock interview event. This event is specific in that we bring in employers and try to match the student's major to an employer, so that way they have a little bit more of a real life experience with that mock interview. We have a diversity and inclusion networking event coming up on Monday, September 17th. This event will have over 50 employers and is designed to provide a networking opportunity for our increasingly diverse student population and prospective employers. It's a great opportunity for students to meet with promising employers of their interest before heading to the career fair. Of course, our fall career fair is September 19th and 20th. SEEN is on October 3rd. SEEN stands for our Sports Career Exploration and Networking Expo. This is specifically for our sports management students. And of course, we have our ongoing on-campus interviewing, and that will happen all the way up until finals week. So there are lots of on-campus interviewing that will be happening for the rest of the semester. This slide is great to show you where our students are going. Just over 50% of our graduates will stay in the state of Ohio. However, the next states that our students have interest in is Illinois, New York, California, and Indiana. 16% of our students are going to the Chicagoland area. So that is an area of interest that our employer relations team is going to be focusing on and building relationships there as well. So we have students in almost 50 states and students who do go global and will go to other countries. So here are some steps that your students can take today to become more involved in the Career Center. Have their resume reviewed by a career assistant. Again, those are our students who work in our office that can help with resumes, cover letters, and LinkedIn profiles. Sign up for a mock interview. Make sure that they have completed the basic interviewing skills workshop first, so they have privileges to do that. Make an appointment with a career advisor just to go over that resume or LinkedIn profile, get familiar with Handshake, kind of see where they are, meet them on their level. Students should attend one of our programs for help with the career preparation process. So we have lots of different programs such as that basic interviewing skills, the LinkedIn, the resume workshops, and lots of others that are focused depending on career major or the career clusters. We do send out a career newsletter, and students can personalize that newsletter to where they are getting specific information on the clusters that they were a part of. They can also customize that to receive information regarding general Career Center news, and they can personalize if they want to receive that once a week, once a month. So it can be really personalized to them, and they're getting up-to-date job, internship, professional development information. And then lastly, logging into Handshake to find upcoming opportunities, lots of different events, on-campus interviewing, things like that that they could come to. Handshake is also where they would make that appointment with a career advisor. This is how you can help. As parents, you do play a key role in our career community. And so how you can support your student. Talk to your student about your job and what you are doing within your organization. What do you enjoy about it? What was your college experience like? Did that college experience lead you to where you are now? Encourage informational interviewing. So our office can help set up connections between your student and alumni that are either in a city that they're looking for or in a current field. So we can help with that. Encourage your students to connect with the Career Center through events or advising appointments. And just be supportive of your student, knowing that now is a great time for them to explore careers and industry and what their interests are and how that could affect or impact their career choice. The other way is if you are interested in helping Miami students get these opportunities. So perhaps you have a company where you could invite students to come for internships or job shadows or informational interviews, or perhaps you're hiring for full-time positions. I would recommend that you contact Corey Watts, and his information is there. He's our Associate Director for Employer Relations, and he would be able to help, get you set up with Handshake, and so that way we can tell students about the opportunities that you have. That is the end of the presentation, so I know we have a question. Not a question. Sorry, we didn't have a question, but the session is being recorded, and a link will be set out. So you'll be able to see this again. So if any information that you want to review will be available to you. Also, all of this information is on the Career Center website, which is miamioh.edu/careers. So those would be great resources for you. So we'll stay on for a few minutes in case that we have any other questions. right, doesn't look like we have any other questions. Thank you all so much for being on the webinar today. Again, feel free to reach out either to the parent's office or to the Career Center if you have any questions. We look forward to partnering with you in the career community. Have a good day.